I scrambled to my feet, adrenaline surging through my veins. There was no time for reflection, only survival. I burst out of the alcove, weaving through the narrow streets, the pursuers hot on my heels. I needed help. I needed allies. The name flashed into my mind. A former military tactician, a man of few words and even fewer smiles, but with a sharp mind and a deadly skill set. I had met him in the underground network of time travel enthusiasts, a shadowy world of whispers and secrets. He had offered his assistance, his expertise, and I, desperate for help, had accepted. Ilara. A hacker, a ghost in the machine, her fingers dancing across keyboards with an almost supernatural speed. She had been monitoring strange anomalies in the city, temporal fluctuations that hinted at something sinister at play. She was eccentric, brilliant, and fiercely independent. And then there was Dr. Raiden. A physicist, a skeptic, a man of science who scoffed at the very notion of time travel. But he was also a man desperate to save his daughter, who was suffering from a mysterious illness that defied conventional medicine. He needed my help, and I needed his. Misfits, all of them. But they were all I had. I reached a dilapidated warehouse, its windows boarded up, its entrance concealed behind a graffiti-covered wall. This was our rendezvous point. I slipped inside, the air thick with the smell of dust and decay. Kai, Ilara, and Dr. Raiden were waiting for me, their faces etched with concern. "They're after the watch," I gasped, my voice hoarse. "We need to move. Now." Kai stepped forward, his eyes narrowed. "Who are they?" "I don't know," I said, shaking my head. "But they're organized, they're ruthless, and they won't stop until they get their hands on it." Ilara, her fingers already flying across her laptop keyboard, spoke up. "I've been monitoring their communications. They call themselves the Custodians." The Custodians. The name sent a shiver down my spine. I had heard whispers of them in the underground network, rumors of a powerful organization that had been manipulating time for centuries, pulling the strings of history from the shadows. "They want to reset time," Ilara continued, her voice grim, "to an ideal moment in history, a moment of their choosing. But that reset, it would erase everything. Everything we know, everything we love." Dr. Raiden, his face pale, spoke for the first time. "Time travel, this is insane. I still can't believe I'm involved in this." "Believe it," Kai said, his voice hard. "Because this is real. And we're all in danger." We gathered around the table, the watch ticking loudly in the center. Its intricate mechanism seemed to hum with an energy that crackled in the air. "We need to understand it," I said, my voice firm. "We need to decipher Dr. Van Arken's secrets. Only then can we stop the Custodians." The quest had begun. Days blurred into nights as we worked tirelessly, poring over Dr. Van Arken's blueprints, deciphering the cryptic symbols on the watch, and trying to unravel the mysteries of time itself. Ilara, with her hacking skills, delved into the digital world, uncovering fragments of information, whispers of the Custodians' activities, and glimpses into the fractured timelines they had created. Dr. Raiden, despite his initial skepticism, became increasingly engrossed in the scientific puzzles presented by the watch. He began to see the impossible, to believe in the unbelievable. Kai, ever vigilant, kept watch, his senses sharp, his movements fluid and precise. He was our protector, our shield against the unknown. Slowly, painstakingly, we began to piece together the truth. The watch wasn't just a tool to stop the Custodians. It was also a device that could bend time itself, to manipulate its flow, to create or destroy realities. But with that power came an immense risk. Using the watch could trigger catastrophic rifts in the fabric of time, merging our reality with countless alternate timelines, creating chaos beyond comprehension. The weight of that knowledge pressed down on us, a heavy burden to bear. Just when we thought we were making progress, a wave of betrayal crashed over us, shattering our fragile alliance. It was Kai. He had been working for the Custodians all along. His loyalty, his camaraderie, his every word and action had been a carefully constructed ruse. The revelation was brutal, a knife twist to the heart. He had betrayed our trust, our friendship, and the fate of the world. He had stolen the watch. The Custodians were closing in, their grip tightening around us. The world was unraveling, time itself fracturing, and we were running out of time. We infiltrated the Custodian stronghold, a fortress of steel and shadows hidden beneath the city. The air crackled with tension, the silence broken only by the rhythmic ticking of the watch, now in the hands of our enemies. The countdown was reaching its final minutes. The world around us was collapsing, buildings crumbling, the sky tearing apart, revealing glimpses of other realities, other timelines. Each of us faced our personal demons. Ilara confronted her past, Dr. Raiden faced his fears, and I faced the agonizing truth about myself, about my own capacity for destruction. The final confrontation was a chaotic dance of desperation and determination. We fought with everything we had, our bodies bruised, our spirits tested to the breaking point. But the real enemy wasn't the custodians. It was time itself. A sentient force, a corrupt entity that had been manipulating humanity's history for its own gain, feeding on the chaos and suffering it created. The final battle wasn't just to stop the custodians, but to stop time from collapsing into oblivion. The watch ticked on, its hands nearing midnight. I knew what I had to do. It was the only way. I lunged for the watch, my fingers closing around its cold metal casing. I felt a surge of energy course through me, a power both terrifying and exhilarating. I made my choice. I sacrificed myself, binding my soul to the watch, becoming a part of its mechanism, its guardian, its protector. The world stabilized. The rifts closed. Time was saved. But I was lost. My fate uncertain, my existence intertwined with the very fabric of time itself. My team, Ilara and Dr. Raiden, stood amidst the ruins, forever altered by the experience, forever haunted by the sacrifices made. They had to live with the consequences of our actions, with the knowledge that the world had been saved, but at a terrible cost. In the final moments, as the dust settled and the fractured realities began to mend, a time rift flickered open briefly. A mysterious figure emerged, their face obscured by shadows, but their eyes held a haunting familiarity. A connection to me. Was I truly gone? Or was this just the beginning of another chapter in the endless story of time?